Good evening. It is so wonderful to see all of you here in the audience. We are very excited to host our middle school evening tonight. My name is Julianne Hofer, and I have the distinct privilege of serving as the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. And we have such great middle schools here in Ocean View, so we are excited to show them off tonight. Before we get started, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Dr. Hanson, our illustrious superintendent, for a few opening remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Hofer. It's very nice to see all of you here tonight. It is a pleasure to serve in Ocean View, and we are so proud of our 4 middle schools. We know that you have choices, and middle school is an important time in your child's educational journey. And transitions are very unique and special, and so we think this is a great time to ask questions, to get familiarized with the programs and our purpose for all of our things that we do in our middle school. Middle school has a special place in my heart. I was a middle school teacher and a middle school principal, and I spent a lot of times in middle schools. So I know that they're unique places and they're special places, and the ones we have here in Ocean View are going to be great places for your students. I'd like to now turn this over to our board president, Gina Clayton-Tarvin, and we also have with us our vice president, Patricia Singer.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hanson. Yes, I'm Gina Clayton-Tarvin. I'm the president of the Board of Trustees for 2022, and this is our vice president, Patricia Singer. And we're here on behalf of the board. We are your elected officials representing you, the parents and guardians of Ocean View students. I am a parent of an Ocean View student as well. He's a 4th grader at Hopeview. He's sitting up there. He's going to be here next year where your kids are sitting to hear the information about middle school. I have an 11th grader now who went through the same program, and Ms. Singer also had 2 girls that are now in high school that went through our middle schools. We're really proud of our middle schools, of the principals, of the teachers, and the staff, because they do their utmost to make sure that our children are prepared for high school. I can tell you they do a stellar job. We have the best middle schools in Orange County, hands down. If not the state of California, the whole state. We're really proud. And I can say that because in LA County, I happen to be a 6th grade teacher. That's my day job. So I know what it takes to be a middle school teacher. It is tough. Your kids can be challenging, parents, but you already know that. But we love your children so much. We're so happy you're here. We're happy that you've chosen the Ocean View School District. We know you have a lot of choices in California, and we're happy that you've chosen to either stay in your home school or stay within the Ocean View School District or transfer in. And if you know anybody that has any kids that are in neighboring districts and they want to come here to Ocean View, we will happily accept them with open arms. And lastly, and really importantly, thank you for hanging in with us with all of these pandemic protocols, including wearing a mask all the time when you're inside Ocean View buildings. We know it's tough, we know it's been challenging, and we know that eventually it will end. But until it does, we appreciate your cooperation very deeply. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Ocean View School District.
Thank you, President Clayton-Tarvin. Before we move forward, I want to make sure everyone is aware, we do have interpretation services in both Spanish. There's Aldo raising his hand, and in Vietnamese, we have raising her hand, excuse me. We are pleased to be able to ensure that everyone is able to understand tonight's presentation. So, it worked a minute ago. There we go. So tonight, we have 4 topics that we're going to cover. You're going to get to hear from our middle school principals all about the uniqueness that each school has to offer. We're going to overview our middle school program, talk about what a typical day is and what the students' schedules will look like, including their elective options. We will talk about some families choose to send their students to schools other than their school of residence. We value parent choice here in Ocean View, and we'll talk a little bit about what that looks like. We'll conclude with the communication because we want to keep you up to date, involved, and engaged as we are partners together. So, to start us off with an overview of our middle school, I'm going to invite Ms. Shibley, the principal of Marine, to come on over.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here this evening. I am Sarah Shibley. I'm the principal at Marine View Middle School. This is my 6th year at Marine, 4th year as principal. I also want to give a shout out to Miss Julie Nichols. Raise your hand. There she is over in the corner. She is our assistant principal at Marine View. This is her 2nd year there. And we are a newly modernized school, so we actually just moved back into our school in August, and it is amazing. So we went through the process last year of updating, modernizing, and we really lucked out. We have a brand new dance room, we have brand new wood shop, brand new art lab, amazing science labs, brand new classrooms, new furniture. It is pristine, and we specialize in the performing arts. So up here you can see we have our jazz ensemble that actually has been invited to participate and do a show at both Knott's and Disney. We also have dance PE, which kind of sets us a little apart from everybody else, that we're able to offer dance PE. We have band. We have wood shop, and just some amazing things going on. And like I said, brand new campus, new murals. It's beautiful. So with that, I am handing it over to Miss Grumbaum at Mesa View.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Shibley. I'm Mrs. Grunbaum, and I also, Jaden Grunbaum, hello. You don't need to call me Mrs. Grunbaum, you're all parents. But I want to introduce my amazing assistant principal. She's been meeting and greeting people at the door, Mrs. Isis Ortiz. There she is, over there. She is amazing and wonderful. And then we all have some of our awesome students and teachers here tonight, too, that you'll get to see a little bit later. Mesa View is one of our gate magnet schools, and also, like you'll hear from all of our middle schools, has a really robust elective and kind of engaging academic core programming for all of our students. So with that gate magnet program, even if your child is not part of the gate program, we have those depth and complexity and icons and resources available to all of our students, and just being able to share that with all of our students, whether it is a program choice, a transfer choice, or a school of residency, has been an amazing honor, and we just love seeing all of the ways that our students can blossom. We also have robust music program, and we've been really excited to reinvigorate our shop with industrial tech and wood shop and traditional woodworking, as well as like 3D printing and robotics and things like that for our students, so that as they go through middle school, they get a lot of introduction to maybe some of those courses and offerings and CTE pathways that they might see in high school. So it's a wonderful school, and I have been honored to be here the last 3 years. I feel like I'm a pandemic principal. We all are, but literally my first year as a principal was the first year of the pandemic. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it has been awesome and wonderful to see our students here in Ocean View blossom and just do an amazing job, and we're really excited to meet all of your 5th grade students next year. And next, I believe I'm handing it off to Mr. Torres from Springview.
Good evening. Thank you. My name is Alfredo Torres. I'm the proud principal of Springview, home of the Spartans. I'm very, very pleased to be here and work with our families and our staff members that were here. So at Springview, as you can see in the bottom, your bottom left corner, we really enjoy showcasing our students. Our students do an amazing job academically, being involved in sports, just being a good Spartan on campus, and we like to acknowledge them and reward them. Excuse me. We also have a lot of our students are really active in showcasing our school. So we ask them to make posters and put positive messages on our campus for all students to benefit. So our students are always actively involved in creating that spirit and that culture on our campus. We also do a lot of community service. We try to help out our community as much as we can, and it also provides an opportunity for our students to give back to the community. As we begin to prepare them for high school, we understand and we try to teach them that being involved in your community is very important and it's a very crucial part of high school, so when they go into college and they have a great resume when they're presenting themselves to their colleges. So we also have our team players. We have a lot of our students involved in sports, and we know that in order for students to be successful, they need to be involved in their school, whether it's sports, in their elective courses, in clubs after school. We try to really, really encourage our students to get involved, because them being connected to their school provides success. So I'm a really proud principal here at Spartans. Please, if you have any questions after the presentation, I'm happy to answer them. I do want to give a shout out to my assistant principal, Ms. Daniels, very hard, just dedicated Spartan herself. So we're very, very pleased to be here. Thank you for being with us. And next we have Dr. Gates.
Thank you. I'm going to give this podium some love and make sure I don't forget anything. So good evening. In Ocean View, you cannot go wrong. Each of our middle schools is led by one of my highly esteemed colleagues, and it is so great to be a part of this team during this time. And I say that as I formally introduce myself, among them as Rashida Gates, principal of the Vista View Falcons. And at Vista View, I have a partner and one of the hardest working assistant principals, Mrs. Kate Crawford, and you'll be able to talk to her later on this evening. She's amazing. And tonight, I would like to take a moment to talk about opportunity and culture, specifically the opportunities that your child can experience at our school. What you see on the first slide is project-based learning. Our students complete 2 or more projects a semester. And those projects, they are working collaboratively with teams, solving real-world problems, and having the opportunity to present their solution on a public format. The picture that you see here is of 2 6th graders that completed a project on making a school playground using mathematical principles. Additionally, along with giving them real-world problems to solve, we like for them to interact with the world around them. So the next 2 pictures you see on the first row are of our students visiting the Crystal Cove Conservatory. During this experience, they were able to dissect, look at fossils, and also take a boat ride to see marine life. And our science department thrives on giving them real-world experiences. The last thing I want to mention about opportunities are our pathways. We are so excited to have our strings orchestra, the first year there, our Esports program launched this year, as well as it's not depicted in these pictures, but we have a Culinary Arts room opening up as we are being modernized and opening with a new facility in September of this year. So in terms of music, we all know that as our students learn music in middle school, it opens up this pathway for high school where they can be a part of the drum line, the marching band, orchestra, or even get one of their first paid jobs being a musician in high school. In terms of esports, we treat that program and have our students really learn to game like champions. Esports is a sport, so they spend time in specific and strategic practice and training. They spend time learning to work on teams, and they also spend time learning the language of sportsmanship. In terms of culinary arts, at our new facility, students will be able to plant and grow crops, harvest them, learn to cook and prepare the food they grew, as well as be a part of this moment where they can achieve and ignite all of these possibilities through the course. Ocean View High School and Fountain Valley High School have culinary arts pathways. Talking about culture, we really look to create community and culture at Vista View while having our students develop and value their own individuality. So they can do this through media, tech, and through leadership. And our students in media tech develop the Vista View Talon. That is our yearbook that is created each year and designed from cover to cover by students. And in leadership, those are the students that help create culture on our campus, and they make sure our school is voiced in student choice, and they keep me on my toes in making sure that the programs are the things that they want on campus. So, and I will end with this. Earlier this week, we began celebrations for Lunar New Year. 30% of our school population is Vietnamese, and we take the time to learn each cultural group on our campus and really get rooted in the traditions of family and bring those learning experiences on our campus. So, if you are going to join our Falcon family next year, this is my first official welcome to Vista, and I'll hand it back to Dr. Hofer.
As you can see, each school is unique and wonderful all by itself. We do have our core program, and it's built on 3 pillars. The first is really around caring environments. We know that middle school is kind of an awkward time. I know that I taught 6th grade as well, and when I would say I was a 6th grade teacher, people would always be like, oh, always wondering, I think, what that really means, knowing what our youth are like, a little quirky, a little fun, a little sassy, a little young, all mixed in a package that doesn't know what's going to come out at any given time. We know that we value rigorous, relevant academic programs. I mean, even as they're talking about what highlights their schools, they talk about project-based learning, they talk about community service. There's nothing more powerful than participating in woodshop to understand fractions. And then we have engaging electives and extracurriculars. So to start us off and talk a little bit about caring environments, I'm going to hand it back to Ms. Shively, the principal at Marine View.
Thank you so much. So middle school, like Dr. Hofer was saying, is a difficult time, right? Middle school has been my career path the whole time I have been in education, and there's no other place that I would rather be. It is such a pivotal point for kids. It's the fork in the road. We're not elementary, we're not quite high school yet, and it's navigating those middle school years. That is why PBIS, positive behaviors, interventions and support, is so important to our daily practices. Research shows, that it takes 5 positive affirmations to undo 1 negative interaction. Okay, so that is our focus day in and day out, is to make sure, first off, that kids don't have a negative interaction, but that we're building them up with those positive affirmations. We're going to talk about what each school does to promote our positive behavior. First up is Marine View, and we say the Mariner Pledge every day. And I'm going to ask 2 of our leadership students to come and join me. I have Addison and Taya, and they're going to help me present this part, because let's be honest, you guys want to hear from the kids. You want to hear what they eat, sleep, and breathe all day while they're at school. So we do the Mariner Pledge, which is Mariners show pride with preparation, responsibility, integrity, determination, and excellence. So they're going to talk to you about how do we reward our kids? How do we acknowledge kids who demonstrate pride?
Hi, my name is Taya Lenore. I'm in 7th grade.
And my name is Addison Brown, and I'm in 8th grade. We are a part of the leadership class. At Marine View, we demonstrate Mariner pride. We say the Mariner Pledge each morning to get our day started on the right foot.
We celebrate students' demonstration of pride and hard work throughout the year with various activities such as Mariner Money, the Mariner Store, which is open every Friday for kids to spend their Mariner money at, Spirit Wear competitions, Super Citizen Awards, Mariner of the Month, and Lunch with Leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Next, I'm going to hand it off to Ms. Grunbaum to talk about the Mesa 3 Rs.
Thank you. And I'm going to offer 2 additions to some things that Ms. Shively said. One, do you guys remember the terrible twos? Just be ready, it's coming back, because the 12s and the 13s and the 14s, it's like 3, 4, 5, just repeat itself. Sorry if you didn't know that, just it's better if you know, I feel like, ahead of time. But along with those like that negative, or sometimes it's just corrective statements too. Just being corrected at this age is tough, so those positive reinforcement statements and those thank yous, and when they hear their name with a positive next to it, we really try to do that at all of our schools to reinforce those positive behaviors that we want to see. And at Mesa View, our motto is our 3 R's, so it is being respectful, being responsible, and being reflective. And we help students in the beginning of the year as we're going over our expectations for positive behaviors with this in mind. So we kind of use this as a frame for what does it mean to be responsible in the classroom? What does it mean to be reflective when you're walking out and about on campus? And to help me kind of talk a little bit about our incentives and our reward systems for this part of our campus, I have 3 students with me as well. Come on up, my students. I have Greta, Serena, and Josh. And they are wearing some of our Dude Be Nice gear. That's kind of maybe our unofficial logo as well at Mesa View. Josh is part of our music program and advanced band. Serena is a member of our ASB class. And we have a second leadership class at Mesa View called Web, where everybody belongs, and Greta is part of that class. So just to start, Josh, could you kick us off and tell us what happens when students are observing the 3 R's?
So once like students are like observing like the 3 R's, as she said, they earn like these little green tickets called Eagle Wings, and pretty much you can like just like earn rewards like by just turning them into like the office and stuff.
Thank you, Josh. Isn't it good to hear like what they actually think about these things? And then Serena, what can we do with these Eagle Wings?
Well, in addition to what Josh said, as well as turning them in to the office for prizes, we could also turn them in for a raffle to potentially earn more prizes if your name is picked.
And so far, one of the favorite prizes has been a giant pencil. Like, very curious sometimes. Mrs. Ortiz has a really fun time asking kids what kind of prizes they would like, and we're always surprised. And then Greta, can you tell us another way that we also recognize students who are observing the 3 R's?
We have something called Eagle of the Month, and Eagle of the Month is awarded to a student who stood out to their teachers by following our motto, the 3 R's.
And we usually, who do we have follow, like, and award those when we go out to classrooms and award?
We have our Eagle.
Yeah, so we have Echo the Eagle who goes around in a big poster and a big prize, and we get to recognize kids every week that are doing an awesome job, and it's really fun. So thank you very much. Thank you guys for sharing that. And next up, Mr. Torres is going to be going through Spring Views.
Thank you. So at Spring View, we have the mantra of lead. We want to teach our students how to be leaders. We want our students to be at the forefront of themselves in order to lead others. So our lead stands for learning together, empowering others, achieving goals, and discovering our potential, their potential. And what we do here at Springview, we shift our schedule 1 week, 2 weeks out of the month, and we focus on an academic curriculum lesson plan surrounding our lead. We talk about it, we show our students, we model what that looks like, what it means. We have our students give us an opportunity to give us their perspective on what it means and what it looks like to them. Then we give our students the opportunity to demonstrate that on campus. So we as a campus, whatever that lead day is, we practice and we preach and we constantly reminding our students what that focus is for that week or for that month. So that is what we do here at Springview. It's always shifting. We try to keep a pulse of the campus and sometimes what our needs are and what our students need, and we will adjust accordingly in order to meet the needs of our students. So that's what we do here at Springview We Lead. To follow up and to close us out with this is Dr. Gates from Vista View.
Thank you. So we are the Vista Falcons that soar, and we use the PBIS framework in all that we do on campus. So students put safety first, they're on time, on task, organized, have academic excellence, and are respectful and responsible Falcons. And at this time, I'm going to have Yara come up. And she is an 8th grader at Vista in our leadership class, and she's going to tell you more about how we soar at Vista.
PBIS. There are 4 ways that students see PBIS at work on our campus. The first is during the daily announcements. Every morning, the student body is reminded to soar and given a cell message that helps ground us and remember to put safety first, be on time, on task, organized, reach for academic excellence, and be respectful and responsible to students. We have the chance to earn Falcon cards each time we show one of our 4 attributes. Any adult on campus can give out Falcon cards to students. We value being seen by adults for what we do well. Once a week on Fridays, our SOAR store opens and students can cash in Falcon cards for prizes. The store prizes were chosen by students and the store is won by students as well. Finally, once a month, we have a SOAR assembly. Teachers and staff nominate students in each of the 4 categories. They write a brief message about why they nominated one of us, and our parents are invited to watch us receive an award. Our next assembly is tomorrow, and it is a chance for any student to be celebrated.
Thank you.
So in addition to our PBIS, we also focus on wellness. And last year, we implemented a district-wide wellness room, and it's virtual, so that students could access different activities such as mindfulness, yoga, deep breathing, and we are in the process right now of implementing a wellness room on each campus of our middle schools. So we are so excited to be bringing this hopefully before the end of the year so that all of our students, and especially for next year's incoming students, can experience the wellness room both virtually and physically on our campuses. Next up is Mr. Torres, who's going to talk to you about rigorous, relevant academic programs.
Thank you. So a day in the life of a middle schooler. We understand and we recognize that your children, our future students, have been in a program at an elementary with primarily one teacher, in one classroom with their friends and one teacher. So the transition to middle school can be somewhat shocking because we're going to introduce them to many more teachers, many more students on campus. As of right now, this is our schedules that we have. We have 2 early schools and we have 2 late schools. As you can see to your left, our early schools are Marine View and Vista View, and they start at 7:45 in the morning, and they let out at 2:10. Our late schools, Mesa View and Spring View, we start at 8:15 and we get out at 2:40 p.m. We anticipate a new start time in 2022. I believe there is a state bill in the process that all schools will start a little bit later. So, but that is currently what our schedules look like. Can we go back? Can we go back one more? Is it up here? Thank you. We have 6 periods a day, 53 minutes a period, 3 minutes passing periods, and we have nutrition. We do not have recess. Okay? So when the kids come home and say, we don't have recess, you have nutrition. Okay? We have 6 periods, and the subject matters that we cover: arts, history, social science, mathematics, science, physical education, and our students also get to choose an elective. Too far. Oh, it's not. that is a quick, just a small demonstration of showing, thank you, yes, for this really nice video. It's just to remind and to show you that our students, in order for them to be successful, we know that sitting behind a desk and just listening to a teacher talk about subject matter, those days are long gone. We know that our students need to be actively participating in their own learning. So not only do our teachers teach, but they also facilitate learning in order for our students to really get a hands-on experience, and they can connect it to their real life as to why we're learning such material. We as teachers, we always hear, why do I need to learn that? Right, so now we know that we just can't say because you have to. Right, so now we show them why it's important to learn whatever it is that the teacher may be teaching in science, math, or in English. So in 6th grade, because our students are transitioning into middle school, we try not to overwhelm them with 6 brand new teachers. Our teachers are paired up, so your student will have one teacher for their English and social studies, social studies, English and social studies. And then they will have another teacher that will teach them math and science. Then they will have another teacher for PE, and then they have a teacher for an elective. So they'll have 4 teachers instead of the traditional 6. Once they make the transition to 7th and 8th grade, they go to a little bit more of a traditional middle school, high school type schedule. So as you can see, PE teacher, 1 teacher, electives, the total of 4 teachers. So this also reduces the interaction with more adults, and it allows our teachers to establish and build those relationships with your children, with our students, because we know that a relationship with a teacher and a student is also very powerful and impactful on their learning. So it's very important for us to build those relationships. And now to talk about engaging electives and extracurricular activities, we have Dr. Gates.
Thank you, Principal Torres. So let's talk about electives and engaging extracurricular activities. As parents, we know that the core academic program is so important for our students, but equally as important are electives, because they give our students the opportunity to be ignited with something that they love and may do for the rest of their lives, and that's important for you as parents and important for us to provide as a school community. So on this slide, you see some electives that are pretty similar at each of our middle schools. They may vary slightly a little bit, and they are primarily 7th and 8th grade electives. But again, these are the electives that are most commonly at all of our middle schools. We're going to set up that you're going to see a quick video of the elective offerings that we offer at Ocean View. Okay, do you still have some questions? This is a great informational slide because depending on what middle school you're looking at, you can kind of hone in on the elective offerings at that school. So above the red line that says 7th and 8th grade are the year-long electives for 6th graders. So you'll probably see courses like band, and those are offered to our 6th graders. Where it says 7th and 8th grade classes, those are year-long classes that your child will be able to participate in the very near future because middle school goes so fast. And on the bottom where it says specific wheel electives, those are for our 6th graders. So they may slightly vary from year to year, but they're on a wheel. So your child may be on 4 electives where they switch at the quarter, 3 where they switch at like a trimester, or do 2 electives a year where they switch at the semester. So the bottom one is really what to hone in on, and they're by school so that you know which one to really keep your eye on. And since I am talking about electives, I do want to point out that some of us will be able to, at Vista View, talk to one of our teachers that does teach electives that I'll talk about shortly. Wait for the next one. Okay, in terms of extracurricular activities, our 7th and 8th graders do cross-country, volleyball. We're currently in our basketball season, and then they end with track. 6th graders don't really participate in these experiences except for in the spring. You can run and practice with the students in track, although you don't compete in the games. So it's kind of preparation and getting you ready for that 7th and 8th grade year when you can participate in all of these. In terms of intramural sports, this year each of our middle schools has a goals program come on site, and that program offers like these interactive games for our students to learn and try and be a part of teams while they're at lunch. We also have enrichment clubs, and here's where I'm going to put a plug for Vista. We have Stella Lee, can you wave? She's our anime club teacher at Vista View, and she's sitting next to 2 of our other students. You met Yara, but Ashley and Leilani, and you'll be able to talk to each of our school sites specifically about what clubs we offer at our schools. And the last thing I want to talk about are homework clubs. We have academic enrichment. Our homework clubs run typically Monday through Thursday, and it gives you that extra hour of a quiet environment if your child just needs that hour to finish their work so that school is school and home is home. It's a great way to have them, navigate that their middle school year. Additionally, if your child may have some assignments that they're behind on, they can make up assignments during homework club, or there's an adult in the room if they have some questions and need some help. So we are very happy to offer that, and I would like to invite you to speak to us again individually about the specific clubs, about the electives, and I hope you learn some things about each of our schools. And if your child is going to be a Falcon next year, we welcome talking to you in a minute. And at this time, I'm going to hand it over to our Director of Student Services, Mrs. Barb Davis, to talk about the transfer process.
Okay, as you've heard, we have 4 fantastic middle schools in Ocean View. Some parents do choose to have their student attend a different middle school in Ocean View or their school that's not their school of residence. To find out what your school of residence is, you can go to our website at the Families tab, click on the school locator. Once you open the school locator, you type in your address, and it will tell you what your school, your middle school of residence or your assigned school is. Parents who choose to have a student attend a school in Ocean View that isn't their school of residence need to complete an intra-district transfer. That's found on your parent portal, and you'll submit that by March 31st and find out late in the spring about the status of that. If you are living outside of Ocean View and you want to attend one of our middle schools, welcome. You would complete an inter-district transfer. That process starts at your district of residence. Find out when they're starting to accept the transfer. You submit that to your district of residence. They will get that to us. We'll process it, and you'll find out about that later in the spring as well. Okay? And I think next is Mrs. Grunbaum with more school information.
Thank you. So I'm going to talk about some general logistics and also communication, which is such a key component, especially in these formative middle school years. And so traditionally, school starts the Wednesday after Labor Day. And once we do have a finalized schedule for the 22-23 school year, that sounds crazy to say out loud, then that will definitely be posted on our school websites and the district websites as well. And then as far as communication, I want to share some various ways that we have available to parents. If you are an Ocean View parent already, hopefully you're already utilizing many of these components, but if not, or even if you haven't, I just want to reinforce them. And also just take a moment to reinforce that these are the years where students start doing this, but they really still want you to be close. And so they're going to start maybe talking less and sharing less, but when they do, at parents, it sometimes feels like we want to fix those problems or fix those issues and just make them go away, but what they really need in this time is they need help to fix them. They need help becoming their own advocate and help communicating with you as we transition to high school, where they really will be expected to be the one who's talking to teachers and reaching out. So we have several ways. One is our parent portal in Aries and just being able to check work, being able to find teacher emails, helping your student access those as well. They should be really checking those and becoming more responsible for seeing those things. I'm going to warn you and caution you, sometimes it's very tempting to check these portals every day and ask your child every day, why is this missing? Why is this up to date? I don't know about you guys, but when I was in school, there was like a progress report at a quarter and a report card at the semester. And that was the only time my parents maybe knew unless I shared things. And there was an element of kids needing to be responsible for themselves that sometimes is shrinking right now. So that's why I'm saying encouraging them to utilize those tools. Be aware of them, use them yourselves as well. But it's now that bridge time where they become more responsible. We have also in Parent Square, there is text messaging and sometimes parents will utilize, you can send, you can get text messages through that portal. In Parent Square as well, you set up your settings, but there's also a messaging format piece in there that has been really useful, and if you haven't used that to message directly with your teachers or even the school site, please do. We have the Parent Square also as an app is amazing. I love it. You can just get right on there, connect directly to people and set your notifications, and it also displays all messages, whether it's one of the school-wide messages or something directly from your child's teachers. There's also the Aries app. So you can use the Aries desktop version or the Aries app. Desktop gives you a little bit more details, but the app is definitely helpful to just get quick information and quick updates on grades or attendance. And also, all four of us have pretty amazing Instagrams. If you're not following us, please give us a follow. And we try to post very often throughout the week with what's going on in classrooms, videos, pictures, images of what's happening with our students. So check those out as well. And then we also, at some of our school sites, have Fly After School Care. So Dr. Gates talked about Homework Club, which is definitely available at all of our school sites for those homework needs, but there also is available daycare. We don't call it daycare with middle schoolers, though, because that would be really, they just would not like that. So at middle school, we have Fly, which is Facilitating Leadership in Youth, and it is hosted at Mesa View right now. We have a morning and an afternoon program, and if you're interested in more information about signing your child up, the information is here. You would contact our child care department, and also on the district website, there's more information about Fly as well. All right, and with that, I am handing it back over to Dr. Hofer.
Well, as you can see, there are a lot of choices here in Ocean View, and coming tonight, you actually may now be less sure about which school is best for your child. So we are hosting school tours. These are intended for parents. In order for you to see children in action, we're doing it during the school day. Otherwise, you'd have the opportunity to come see empty classrooms. But because it's during the school days, we are asking for no students, no children. That way you'll get to tour through. It's something we really will pride ourselves on, you getting to see what our schools really look like and feel like. So as you walked in, you got a flyer with the dates, and it will give you a chance to see our schools in action. We all do want to invite you to our district music festival at the end of March. All of our middle schools will be performing, so that'll give you another chance to see our great performing arts that we have throughout all 4 schools, with a specialty kind of at Marine View. Finally, we want to thank you for being here tonight. All our principals are going to go ahead by the posters around the room. If you have specific questions, come on up. That's what they're here for. They're here to answer questions, and they can always be reached at their school offices, and we are looking forward to partnering with you as we support your middle schooler through their journey in preparation for the next big transition that I'm not going to even mention right now. So follow us in Ocean View on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channel, Instagram. We're super glad you're here. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us.
How did we do that? How did we end up on the exact wrong side?